and welcome to another yoga pose tutorial in which we will be talking all about crow pose. My name is Taylor, I'm a yoga teacher, and on my channel I like to post these yoga pose tutorials, and I also post longer full-length yoga flows as well. So if that sounds like something you would be interested in, be sure to subscribe to my channel for more content like that. So like I said, in today's video we are going to be breaking down crow pose. I'll start by talking about some of the benefits of crow pose, things to watch out for when you're first beginning to practice, and then we'll get into some tips and drills that you can work on to build up your strength for crow pose. So first off, some of the benefits of crow pose are that it's an easier or more accessible arm balance that can build up some strength before some of those more advanced arm balances. So it's often one of the first arm balances that people learn on their yoga journey. It was mine, and it's a great pose to just help build your focus, your concentration, and to help you build up confidence and face that fear of falling. So with crow pose, it's relatively safer and easier than some of the more advanced arm balances because you're not very high off the ground, so you don't have very far to fall if you do fall. So the first warm-up drill that we're going to go over is the crow crunch. So this is probably the best warm-up drill that you can do before doing your full crow pose because it's the exact same pose except you're going to be lying on your back, so there's going to be no pressure or weight on your arms or wrists. But it helps you to engage the exact same muscles that you use in your full crow pose. So for your crow crunch, you are going to begin by lying flat on your back. Your feet are planted on the mat, knees are pointed up, arms will extend up towards the ceiling, wrists are flexed, and from here you will lift your shoulders and upper back up off of the mat. And you will use your core strength to draw your knees in towards your upper arms. So do about 10 of these to warm up for your crow pose. The second warm-up drill that I like to do before practicing crow pose are plank knee taps. So you will get into your plank pose, and from here you'll just alternate tapping your knee towards your tricep. So right knee towards right tricep, send it back to plank, left knee, left tricep, send it back. So do about 10 of these on each side, just to warm up your core and get yourself comfortable with having your knees on your upper arms. The next thing that you want to warm up before your crow pose are your wrists. So to warm up your wrists, just get on your hands and knees in a tabletop position and flip your palms so your fingers are pointing back towards your body, and you can just rock a little bit forward and back here, just getting a stretch through the forearms and the wrists here. After a few of those, you can flip the back of your hand down on the mat and you'll feel a stretch more in the front of the wrists here. So again, you can rock a little bit forward and back. Maybe take a few circles. Make sure you get both directions. And then release that and just shake out the wrists, roll them out, getting them nice and warm and loosened up. All right, next we are going to actually get into our crow pose, but with a few props. So if you have a couple blocks handy and a bolster or pillow or cushion of some sort, that will be helpful for you. If you don't have blocks, any sort of small step stool or platform or even just a couple of books stacked on top of each other will work. All right, so place your blocks behind you just like this, and you're going to get onto your hands and then just step up onto your blocks so you're kind of in this squatting position. And Make sure your knees are on your upper arms as high up as possible, as close to your armpits as possible. Place the bolster or pillow in front of you. That's just to catch you in case you fall. So go ahead and just plant your palms flat on the mat. Knees on your upper arms, elbows are pointed back, and you're just gonna work on shifting your weight forward and then shifting back, keeping your gaze forward as you shift your weight. So just working on this a few times until you get comfortable with your weight shifted forward onto your hands. Once you've done that a few times, work on lifting one leg up off of the block at a time. So shift your weight forward, gaze is forward, elbows pointed back, and then just lift one leg and place it down. Shift back, shift your weight forward, gaze is forward, and then lift the opposite leg. So just work on a few of those, getting comfortable with one leg lifted up off the block at a time. Next, I want you to work on shifting your weight all the way forward so your forehead is resting on the bolster. So shift your weight forward all the way until your forehead is on the bolster. And from here, I want you to try lifting both feet up and down. Shift your weight back up. Shift forward all the way. Forehead rests on the bolster. And then slowly work on lifting both feet up off the blocks. Work on that a couple of times until you get comfortable with both feet lifted. All right, so once you're comfortable with all of those drills, you might be ready to go ahead and try your full crow pose without any props. You might want to keep your bolster in front of you just in case. It also helps with that fear of falling as well. So let's go ahead and attempt your full crow pose. So go ahead and start off in a squatting position, just like we did before. Palms firmly planted on the mat. Lift your weight up, knees as high up on your upper arms as you can, as close to your armpits as possible, and begin shifting your weight forward. Maybe you try lifting one foot at a time like we did before, and when you feel ready, shift your weight all the way forward and try lifting both feet up. Again, keeping your gaze forward, engaging your core, and keeping your elbows pointed back. When you're ready to come out of it, simply lower your feet and come back into that squatting position. All right, so there you have it. Those are my top tips and drills for you to practice leading into your crow pose. I hope this was helpful for you, and be sure to comment with any questions or with any yoga poses that you would like tutorials on next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.